Hello crew, I think this is it. This is the first video with our brand new 360 times 5. We had a 360 times 4. It tried to learn to swim and didn't do very well. It's now on the bottom of this beautiful canal in Florida. I did try to recover the poor thing. It was not successful at all. So yes, 2 dive, nothing at all. The first dive, high current, no viz. I marked the spot. The next day we went out with the dinghy, sat in the dinghy, anchored where as close as possible. 15 to 17 feet of water. Second dive, went down to the bottom, following the anchor chain, or the anchor line, all the way to the chain, which is probably 4 or 5 feet long. No viz whatsoever. There was no way I could see the bottom, and I was afraid if I touched the bottom it'll be all over wet. It was all over wet anyway. There was nothing. It was like I was inside a paper bag. So yes, we did not recover the camera. So my lovely wife today went to Costco and she went and got a X5 because this one is awesome. So now we can record again. That's it for this evening. We will talk again tomorrow. We're on thinking that we're going to take off, go fuel up, go up the ICW tomorrow.
Welcome to the Florida ICW. We just fueled up. We are in West Palm Beach and we are headed across the bridge, the fixed bridge just north of the Lake Worth Inlet for low tide. So we've got about 45 minutes to get there, although we're flying with the current, so we may be a little quicker. Yeah, so let's try not to get there too soon because it's a low bridge. So we're going to slow down here a little. Very nice, helpful people at the fuel dock. And we're going to head out there and then drop the anchor for the evening and head off early tomorrow morning. Welcome back to the ICW in Florida. Actually, it's pretty calm today. It's Tuesday. Or no, it's it's better than Tuesday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. It's Monday. Tomorrow will be Tuesday. So hopefully...
That's usually what happens after Monday.
Hopefully Tuesday will be a good day to travel between West Palm Beach and Fort Worth on the Floridian ICW. It is warm. You can see the thunderclouds building, which is supposed to happen every afternoon this week. So we'll leave nice and early tomorrow morning. And why we won't be on the outside. Anyways, time to put Junior back downstairs because he keeps wanting to come up. It's pretty hot. Maybe we could turn the AC on for a little bit when we get there. See you later. So welcome back to the ICW and the unpredictability of it all with clearing bridges and transiting depths, and this was one of the reasons why I wasn't keen about going back, but again I'm grateful that I have the option because the weather on the outside going up the coast this week is the bleeps. Pretty bad. There's now another front that's even more significant than all the fronts earlier in the week and throughout the week coming in towards the weekend. So okay, so welcome back. We'll see you tomorrow morning, I think, when we take off to start our trek north. Alrighty.
Good morning, you beautiful people. Here we are. This will be our first day on the ICW. We'll be moving on away from this West Palm Beach. Unfortunately, it's a beautiful place. I like it. Oh, Michele just started the engine. All the cats are harnessed up, ready to go. Beautiful sunrise. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. We got to time a couple of bridges today, so that'll be interesting. There's always a bit of a race. I don't know. It's like one opens at every 15 minutes, or at the 15 minutes and at the quarter hour, like a minute 15 and minute 45. And then the other one will open at 0-100 and then half pass. So it's, you gotta kind of race in between the bridges, or you just take really your time and you get to the next 15 minutes. So we'll see how it goes.
Good morning. So we have gone through a couple of bascule bridges. can turn you on for the next one. Not all that exciting. You call them, they ask you your height, width, and length, and then they open the bridge at the scheduled time. So there's 4 bridges this morning that are on a scheduled opening time, and then there's, I think, 3 that we call on demand, which is helpful because then we don't have to worry about timing it exact. And as we're heading north along the Floridian ICW from the Palm Beach area, saw some nice bungalows and condos, and now we're getting into the fancier houses. Take you for a little walk on deck. It's a very nice, calm morning. Lovely neighborhood of houses. The houses are getting bigger and bigger. As I recall from last time coming down here, they continue to get bigger and bigger, with pretty lawns and yards and private docks with boats. We've seen quite a few with for sale signs. Maybe the market has improved. I'm not really up on that anymore. Yeah, so there you have it. I'll take you along to the next fast fuel bridge. Apparently this is actually 2 bridges, and so I guess it's a lot of weight. It opened very slowly. This is no plan B. We are clear of the bridge. Thank you very much. All right, so it is a hazy day here at Fort Pierce. We just left Fort Pierce. That's the, you see it behind me? The Fort Pierce North Bridge that they just finished building in the distance. They're still using the Basco Bridge for some reason, some of the things that they're transporting. And we just we stayed one night in Fort Pierce and are heading out. Waited till about 1 today because we're going to go camp at the Wabasso Bridge. So for those of you who might tune into this episode from way back when we went up or down the ICW in the winter, the Wabasso Bridge literally stopped us in our tracks, and Dennis climbed the mast and took everything down. So this year, as we decided to head at least up the Florida ICW, as you know, we've talked about, Dennis went ahead and took everything down. And our antenna is seized, but hopefully they'll just have a doorstop experience. If not, we think we're going to replace it anyhow because it's old. And Christmas Eve. Anyway, so we're going to camp on this side of the Wabasso Bridge, and as good luck and fortune has it, the low water level, the tides don't really change much in this region. Only by about a third to half a foot, although that gives you a few inches. But they have water gauge readings, and so the water gauge reading levels have been coinciding with the tides, which makes sense. The water gauge reading levels do show a difference of about a foot between the high and low, so that's helpful. So that's about 9-ish tomorrow morning, so good timing. So it's only about a 3.5 hour trek to get up to Wabasso Bridge, and then from there tomorrow we head towards Cape Canaveral, the Daytona Beach area, so we'll see where we end up tomorrow night. Still watching the weather. There's a lot of stuff coming through. There's that tropical storm system that is formed in the western part of the Gulf that's going to bring a lot of torrential rain to Texas, and I think it was Louisiana. And the remnants of that will meander over to the Atlantic side, just as some unsettled weather, it sounds like. This is a trough, but that continues to bring some troughs. Looks like the weather, as I said, this week on the outside is pretty nasty. And then it looked like there was a clearing this weekend, and it looks like there's a brief clearing this weekend. Differences of duration from about a day to a day and a half in some regions. And then there's this little trough that is going to come through, it looks like, early next week, and there's a cold front up north early next week. So looks like on some levels that there may be a nice clearing early to mid next week to be able to do some time on the outside, but I'm not holding my breath. The good news is up north it really does look like they don't get as much of the disturbances that get brought up from down south, and so they've had a lot of systems, but they've been getting 3 days of nice weather in between. So regardless of what we do, the first half of the East Coast, the southeast coast, I'm really hoping that we can have a nice passage, at least from mid-Atlantic on up. But we'll see what happens down here. So, steamy day. We had a couple of very big squalls last night at Anchorage. Glad we were at anchor. Some pretty strong winds, heavy rain. Lasted, both of them, a total of about an hour and a half. So glad we were tucked nicely for that. There's supposed to be a little bit of a break in squalls today. May just feel as steamy as it does from yesterday's rain. And then there's more squally weather late afternoon and evenings along the Floridian coast, big time Thursday, Friday. So we'll be at anchor where that hits, or keep our eyes out to make sure that we are. So yeah, welcome back to north of Fort Pierce along the ICW. See me smiling. Okay?
It's the ICW. That's exciting as it gets.
And Walter, what does that mean for you?
Ice cream world, but we haven't had ice cream yet.
No.
Where's the ice cream?
Do you want to tell everybody what happened to your paw?
I had a boo-boo.
You had a boo-boo, had a little splinter in there.
Yeah.
The splinter appears gone, but it's still a little swollen, huh?
Yeah.
So we don't want to suckle on it, so that's why we're keeping the bandage on with polysporin, right?
I can take it off.
Yeah, hopefully you won't take it off. All right, so
Yes!
hope I never have to see you again with Wabasso Bridge, but I'll be grateful if coming down next year, I need to see you again.
Hey, we need to make a note. 63 feet fits.
So the tide markers read 63 feet. We have the instruments off, so that puts us at a height of 62 feet 8 inches. And I stood at the bow. I'm sorry I didn't film it. I stood at the bow staring up at the mast and saw that we had a few inches. That antenna got pulled across for sure. But we got across, we didn't have to wait, and bye-bye Wabasso for this season.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, hasta la vista, baby. Any thoughts?
Give me some wine. I'm good. We did it. Well, folks, we planted down the pick just on time. Here's the storm. It is 7 o'clock. Not bad. We made it under the shortest bridge, which I always hated. We scraped that antenna. She bent down pretty good. That's why they made them bendable. But yeah, I'm not sure if that thing's going to pass us or it's going to come and dump some rain on us. But it was a little higher here, so I'm thinking she's going to go north.
Good morning. So we made some coffee and left the anchorage, and we're heading, we're going to drop the pick real fast. 2 bridges down, Eau de Gaillet. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I'll have to check with Dennis. There's a little town there, and we'll take Walter to shore, and we're going to get some ice because unfortunately our fridge, I think, is finally pooched, or hopefully it just needs some refills. But there was the debate about getting it serviced in Florida, and differences of opinion there that it really needed to get done, but we also really needed to get underway. So we got underway, and now we have to deal with it to try to save the food that's there. There's a lot of good food. Okay, and plus to give us stuff to eat. We had a debate last night because there's a 36 to maybe 42 hour window coming up this weekend to go offshore before it closes again when another front comes in the beginning of the week. And we debated about jumping off from Ponce Inlet or booking up to St. Augustine Inlet. The first half of that window is a motoring window, and the second half are brisk winds. So the plan is to continue along here, get to where St. Mary's Inlet is. There's 2 places there. One is Fernandina Beach, which has fuel, so we could refuel. And then across the inlet is Cumberland, which was one of our favorite spots, Cumberland, Georgia. The park there and that anchorage is one of our favorite spots coming down. So this week continues to be bad offshore. There's that little bit of a window Sunday, Monday. So we're going to keep plugging along the ICW and not take the half motoring little bit of sailing window and not push it, not feel under pressure, which is never a good thing. If we went to jump off, we'd get into where these inlets are. Dennis would have to climb the mast, and then the very next day we would have to go offshore. So after 4 or 5 days of motoring, we didn't think that was a great idea. Just in terms of being rested and Walter getting some time on shore and making it a positive experience for Walter, and us not rushing, because that's when stuff happens, is when we rush or feel pressured under schedules. So anyways, the plan is we're going to continue along the ICW. We're going to get up to St. Mary's Inlet. That should be the very end of the weekend or very beginning of next week, when that next front comes in, as I know right now, Monday, Tuesday. And then we'll get a couple of days in Cumberland and wait there for hopefully a bigger window where maybe we can get to Beaufort or even beyond. I'll be very happy with Beaufort or Cape Lookout at this point, offshore, and skip the rest of the southeast portion of the ICW, and then from there just decide with what's going on with weather. Hopefully we can continue to do maybe 2-day legs to get to Rhode Island. Yeah, so we're going to stop this morning in 2 bridges to go get some ice, to give Walter a little bit of an outing, and then continue on north up the ICW today, destination unknown. Yeah, so there you have it.
Well, here we are, Cape Canaveral. If there was a rocket to be seen, this would be the place. But as you can see with the crowd that we have, they ain't no rocket. No, we're all by ourselves. Nice quiet place, away from the bridge, away from everywhere, in the middle of nowhere. In 7.5 feet of water. It's actually probably 9.5 feet of water. All right, we'll talk tomorrow. Earl, Captain speaking. As you can see, it's a beautiful sunrise. We're getting ready for the day. It's a better day today. It's probably going to be squally. Great possibility, because there was a pink sunrise. Pink sky in the morning, Sailor's warning. Pink sky at night, sailor's delight. Remember that one. I don't know where these guys, these old pirates, they come up with this stuff. The clouds over there tells me that we probably are going to get rained on today.
Are squalls more fun, out in the open or in the ICW?
Wow, that's a good question.
It's a toss-up, huh?
Yeah, we just had one hit us. I mean, everything got soaked. The iPad became stupid because every time a drop of water hit it, it would go to a different page. So it was useless. And then I couldn't see in front of the boat. It was that bad. The rain was coming sideways. You can see that cloud. That's where we were. Underneath that cloud. And then it hit us, and then the winds, and then the local boaters. It's just like
They're out for Friday afternoon jumps on
and
the
they don't want
water.
to get wet, so they're cutting all over the place. And I'm like, I'm just gonna run you over. There was like a dozen boats flying around the whole place, and then I had a huge yacht behind me going, I'm coming through.
It's actually nice.
Yeah, he slowed
He
down.
waited, he slowed down, he waited
He waited till the disaster was
till
over,
the
then he passed
disaster
us.
was over.
Our
Then he-
Canadian flag really
Our Canadian flag didn't make
is
it.
done for.
Yeah, I tied it up.
Sad.
This is a sad death for our Canadian flag. So I've got another one that was also getting worn out.
Right.
Very sad. So I think that's moving west.
I'm thinking so.
And there's massive squall coverage all over the state.
Yeah.
The entire state on the Lightning app is one big red dot. Let's see. But yeah, that was the not being able to see and the iPad checking out with the rain. This is another reason why we need some sort of full enclosure, although I don't think we would have had it enclosed because it's so darn hot. But it's clear skies ahead, and we're a few miles from our anchorage. So I was asking Dennis if he thought we should pull over sooner, and he thought we were okay to go on, so we're going on to our anchorage in Daytona Beach. Yeah, okay, bye-bye.
You might want to make sure your freaking hatch will be closed soon. It's not
Okay,
raining yet.
so we are going to pull over at Ponce Inlet Anchorage, which is where we anchored on the way down, because we are surrounded, as I look at the app, and you can see the lightning and thunder everywhere,
Try not to swing around.
and I look at the app and we're just surrounded. So we are going to pull over, because this doesn't look like an afternoon that we want to continue. Even if it puts us behind schedule, we look at. So,
Fantastic.
Good morning, you beautiful people. It is June 20th. That's way too close to the end. So we're in advanced June, let's put it that way. As you can see, we are getting up and getting going this morning. There is a fuel dock over there at the marina. We're gonna go and get some ice for a fridge and maybe get the Pooch walking. The squalls have passed. Let's hope it holds it up for today. Still a lot of clouds around, but it is this time of year. I think we should consider ourselves lucky. We've done well. Nice, beautiful sunrise.
day going?
Very nice. Sunny, a little breeze.
Any
Had lunch.
events you want to share?
Smooth sailing today.
What about that guy with his kids?
Oh. Well, yeah, well, that. This one gentleman decided he was going to tow his kids on a, whatever, board in the middle of the ICW channel. And so he stopped, like, dead center in front of us and dropped the kids off, like, dropped his kids at school. And then he just left them there. And then he motored off the area, and the 4 kids are just floating right in front of him.
Well, he made sure the boat wasn't going to get hit because he took the boat
Yeah,
out
right.
of the channel, but the 4 children were floating
Leave the kids there.
in the channel. 2 of them were getting drifted off with the current.
Yeah. Wait.
Lots of radio action happening. I think I'll take you guys on deck. We are about 33 miles south of St. Augustine, hoping that we can make that today. And if we do, we'll spend an extra night there to maybe do the laundry, fuel up. Alrighty, so coming up, Walter, we are probably not getting to St. Augustine today. It's just going to take too long. We didn't make that great timing because the current was against us for most of it. And daylight's not an issue because the days are so long, but it would be a really long day. We might not get there till close to sunset. So it'd be a really long day for Dennis at the wheel. And even though it looks like the storms are staying south of us, it's pushing it to travel that much into the evening in case there are some thunderstorms. So we're going to go to what sounds like a very pretty anchorage about, I don't know, it's like 20 miles south of St. Augustine. And then we're going to decide if we're going to stop in St. Augustine or just go through there and head on to St. Mary's Inlet, or stop somewhere in between and then get to St. Mary's Inlet on earlier Monday.
Hello, crew. Captain speaking. We are now in Matanza Inlet. So yeah, we could not make it to St. Augustine. We're about 20 miles south. It's a nice little anchorage. It's right off the main thoroughfare, which is over there. You can see where these guys are coming and going. And back there, if you go under that bridge or turn to the left, I think you can make it to the ocean. The big ocean. Not just the little one in between. You're on TV, girls. That is funny as heck. That's funny as heck. It's karaoke boat. Oh, that's too funny. You could not catch me doing this even if I was dead or drunk. Dead drunk? Thank God they turned the volume of the song up. So yeah, we're gonna park it here. We're gonna discuss a few plans. If we're gonna check the insurance, it's time for changing our insurance. So we need to make a decision onto which insurance we're gonna take. Canadian, American, European, or Australian. All kinds of insurance out there. And all they want is your money. But they're not going to insure you if you get hit by lightning, or if you're hit by a named storm, or if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, yada yada yada. Isn't that always the insurance thing? Is there anybody out there that's into the insurance business? Because come on guys, this is what we're paying for. We're paying good bucks to get insured. I understand you don't want us into the hurricane area at the hurricane season. That I get. But to get hit by lightning, you could get hit by lightning anywhere, at any time. So anyway, hasta la vista. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. We're going to take off early and try to make it to St. Augustine. All right, folks. We arrived in St. Augustine. This is not going to be pretty. You see the line? She's right above us. I better let go of the rigging. It's blacker than you know what. But there's going to be lightning and there's going to be a bash of rain. All right. I hate saying that, but I'm going to go put you in the oven. This is what it looks like right now.
35 to 40 knot winds probably. Would you say 30, 35? Yeah, that's not the froth we had during that other storm. Here comes the lightning. 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2006, still 6 miles away. Woo-wee. 6 to 7 miles out, and that's not far, folks. Obviously, that's for the center of the storm. We're just getting remnants of it. You can barely see the other boats. Yeah. A lot of lightning. We saw that coming on the app. Well, there's one way to test our mooring. Wow. She's moving, folks. There goes our flag again. I want a storm-proof flag. I don't know what the deal is with that. There's a boat for sale over there. That guy's heading up. So we replaced the flag this morning. This is the old flag. Still has more color than the last flag that we had. 2 months in the Bahamas and a couple of squalls, and that's what it looks like.